What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Once again, it's me, William Bootsy Blandon. Thank you guys for being loyal and continue to come back to watch this content on holding companies and corporate credit. I want to tell a quick story. I'll try not to make it long because it technically is a long story about how I got started with Uber and Lyft. And Uber and Lyft have helped my business all the way till now, believe it or not. But I did eventually end up quitting. This is how the story went. In about 2017, um, the original setup I had for Chania business, it was just an LLC um, and a dream. I quit my job after I successfully liquidated my brother's 401k, and we were able to move that into a new corporation back in about 2018. Fast forward, um, a lot of things happened. My grandmother died. My brother wasn't bringing in no money, he's just spending money. And I wasn't really making anything either, you know. So, lesson, don't quit your job prematurely when you're doing this stuff. Big mistake. Anyway, um, yeah, so we did that. Went through a lot of the funds. The corporation fell apart. Me and my brother's relationship obviously didn't really work out. But at the last minute, after losing everything and deciding we needed to go our own separate ways after my grandmother's death, I started driving for Uber. I started driving for Uber before the money ran out. So I at least was trying to bring in some money. Where my brother, it's a long story, but wasn't working and at his job at Trader Joe's. But he was there and was such a good employee for such a long time. He had about $60,000 in a 401k for Trader Joe's. So fast forward, um, we go our separate ways. Of course, he blames me for all mismanagement of the money. Even though he wasn't bringing in money, he was spending money like crazy. So he blames me for all that. Um, I go my separate way. I'm actually making decent money at the time with Uber. I mean, this was back in the day, 2018. People were telling me they paid better years before that, but the money was great, guys. I literally got a $300 bonus from signing up some guy I met on Facebook. Literally, it was separate money, $300 just for signing up somebody. That's the kind of money they were paying. Uber at the time was paying so good, it was enough to easily fund a holding company. Easily. I mean, you could do it now, but you're trading time for money and you're not going to have a life. You're going to be driving like 80 hours. But back then, you could only drive 30, 40 hours and still make a livable full time wage. I'm talking 3 to 5 grand a month, easy. There was people on Uber that weren't even driving for Uber. They were purely just getting the bonuses for signing up people. That's how good the money was. Fast forward to the day, 2019, I continued doing it, even though it was a struggle. It was wear and tear in the cars. Um, I tried to go back into the workforce even because it just wasn't enough. It was just too much wear and tear in the car. I think that was primarily the main thing, even though it wasn't paying as good also, because at one point we were getting like a 70-30 split where we were getting 70 as drivers to the point where it started feeling like 50%. In my eyes, it started feeling like 50%. It started really feeling like they were taking half, but supposedly it was more like 60-40. Um, but I must say, having a Uber side hustle catapult me to all the way till now where I'm getting government funding on the fact that I was an Uber driver. Government so far I've probably accumulated over $20,000 in government funding purely based on being an Uber driver. And it saved my business because Chennai business wasn't bringing anything. The other business I had with my brother completely failed. So it was kind of my side hustle that was funding everything, even though it wasn't paying what it used to. I stayed in the hustle. I dabbled a little bit in a community center and then a group home, but it was Uber that kept me going, and I respect it for that. But you cannot do the same thing with Uber back that you did back then. You can't do that now. Somebody new to get on. There's a lot of newbies getting out there, just starting, and they're not going to make as much money. And if they do make as much money, they're not going to have any life. I'm talking about how the life, y'all. I was able to just go out and drive for 5 hours and make like $100. I wasn't able to make that again until the pandemic hit. Once the pandemic hit, for a while I was making good money because every driver panicked, and there was a lot of drivers that just completely stopped driving for a while. But that's how Uber basically saved me. And fast forward today, it's because of Uber that I was able to get government funding, take that government funding, start a holding company, work with a company called Ztegrity, links below, and now they're building me a C Corp that could possibly bring in 500K to 1.5 million in funding. All different type of creative funding. Some will be loans, credit cards, lines of credit, all that from being an Uber driver. But I'm not going to really tell you guys go rush out and be an Uber driver now because it doesn't pay that much. But what I am going to tell you is you need a side hustle that generates cash, if possible, daily. If you guys could finagle a side hustle that brings in revenue daily or just on a weekly basis, you can leverage that, put it into a business. That business could generate you corporate credit. You take that corporate credit and you buy tangible assets like real estate, and like I'm trying to do, I'm trying to start a turbo business. Usually cars are a liability, but when you leverage them to bring in revenue, it's an asset. It's almost like you have houses. And if you have a tour business with about 5 cars out every week, that's going to make you more than some real estate investments. And I don't know if you guys watch Glendon Cameron, Savage Finance. Um, I can't remember the name of his other channel. It used to be Hustlers Kung Fu. He changed it to Franchise Tag or some crazy corny name, but he's actually on my game with the going into Turo business. I didn't give him the idea because I'm nobody, but I had the idea before he did. He just has $150,000 to just throw in and just do it now. But you see that I know what I'm talking about because I had this idea months before he started talking about it on his channel about starting a Turo business with your corporate credit, investing in cars. Now those liabilities turn into assets that could generate more than actually a real estate business. One car could bring you in $3,000 a month. One car. So you times that times 5 cars. Now I'm even thinking about doing a car rental business that specializes in one brand. Like I like the Subaru brand. And if I stick to the Subaru brand, they're all-wheel drive, every single model. So they're safe all year round. And slowly build up my Turo business to the point where I can actually get a lot and maybe start selling cars and creating my own rental business under my own brand. But Glenn is on it. He's doing it. He's talking about it's going to take a 3-year journey. It's not going to take me 3 years because I'm doing something he doesn't like to really talk about, which is leveraging credit to get your business faster because he has cash. If I had cash, guys, I would do exactly what Glendon's doing. use cash to get going, because technically your corporate credit is supposed to be for emergencies, when you really need it or you're really in a jam. You shouldn't have to be funding your business on that. But because Integrity is going to get such a large amount of corporate credit, I can actually go in and just buy a lot, guys. I'm not exaggerating. Here where I am in Connecticut, I literally could, there's places, a lot of empty lots that I could literally just buy a lot with the pre-notion that I'm going to turn it into a real business later, and just have all my Toro cars there at the lot. And there's plenty of them around here. You know, Glendon's in Atlanta, so there's probably not as many. But you see how you could turn this into a business that could be worth, it could be a six-figure business easy with Toro. Now, I didn't test the Connecticut market yet, and I told you guys I'm actually going to buy a course. There's a couple guys I'm thinking about buying a course from. Take my time. I'll get a Subaru car just for my day-to-day business stuff. But the key is to buy a course, really go down and deep, so I know ins and outs of the Toro business. Once I learn the ins and outs of the Toro business, I have I'm probably ready to go with three cars, guys. I'll be ready to go in full, as a real car leasing company. Then I'll provide the leasing stuff, the contracts, the insurance, probably hopefully have an in-house repair guy, stuff like that. That's my goal, man. That's my plan. You guys are seeing into my future plan, and you see that even Glendon's on it. So you see it's not a bad idea, because I'm telling you, the right Toro business could actually bring in more than having 5 houses. Sometimes you can have 5 houses and they don't bring in $3,000 a month. One car, one good performing car could bring you $3,000 a month. And then this is my thing now. Don't go stealing this idea. Is you go in your Toro business, but you specialize in one brand. There's not a lot of people doing this, guys. Don't get me wrong. I might have a one-off car. It might be, like a Camaro or whatever. One of these fancy new, a Corvette, not a Camaro, Corvette. It might be a one-off car, but if I specialize in one brand, people are going to know me for that. And when they want that brand, they know, okay, I can get one of these from Will. That's my idea. Don't steal it. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for stopping by and listen to me rant. Subscribe, like, comment, and I'll catch you guys next time.